So a lot of people think that white women are innocent when it comes to racism and white supremacy. But I just want to remind y'all of how far back this actually goes, that they was raised in societies from their ancestors of people who felt like it was okay to abuse people of color. And white women have constantly been tearing down the image of black women in the media, and now they have black men even trying to portray black women in the media, which is even more disrespectful towards black women, that you would dress our men up as women and put them on television. And there was a woman or someone who googled hairstyles, and black women's hairstyles came up as unprofessional, while the white woman's image was coming up as professional. And it just really opened my eyes to the racism in the workplace, being that it's experienced by black women all over the United States, for being discriminated against as black women, to where they treating us like we cannot perform certain jobs, or that we not professional enough, simply because of the color of our skin and the texture of our hair. And as you can see, black women wearing their natural hair is constantly being criticized, where people calling us all sorts of derogatory names and giving our hair terms like nappy and B2B and things like that. And also the colorism, with me explaining where I fall into as far as color, and how they was using dark skinned black girls to come and try to fight me, and then they was using light skinned black girls to try to come and discredit me. And it really just showed how they try to conquer and divide us, based off of our skin tones. Because when you have a woman who may be considered light skinned claiming that she want black people to stand up for something that they did to her, then you have all these black women who feel like they're dark skinned, feeling like, oh, well, we don't have to stand up for you. You not black. You not one of us anyway. And then you see in Hollywood how they glorify certain women in the media, but then they put them against each other. And they try to even make the most lightest women in society feel like they're not good enough, because it boils down to the fact that you're not white. And this little clip right here was just basically showing how a black woman could feel. And it reminded me a lot of myself when I would wear my natural hair, and I would hear people coming up to me telling me that I needed to perm my hair. And I've had guys even say they liked it blonde. And you'll see different people always constantly trying to glorify white women and Hispanic women, as if you should try to be light skinned, but then they turn around and try to say that a black man shouldn't marry us because we not real black women, and that they shouldn't have to respect us because we not real black women. And that's showing black men perpetuating the colorism stereotypes in our society. Another thing is, they always try to pick the a lighter skinned person to play the roles of even brown skinned women. And it's like, why you just can't pick a brown skinned woman to play the role of a brown skinned woman? And it goes back a long time as far as this skin tone stuff, with them having sold bleaching products way back, in the time frame that we've been living in. Like, with our ancestors, they sold bleaching products back then when grandma was growing up. And the colorism in the black community is so bad that the media is still influencing the colorism, while still trying to come out and tell us that we're united, and try to come out and tell us that we have equal rights. But y'all are still putting us against one another, and you're not allowing black women to really stand together. And now that they're taking away Jesus Christ out of the church, and they're introducing voodoo and Satanism, now you're really causing a divide between black women, because we cannot be divided when it comes down to God. And so it's happening all over the world, even in Asia, where women are being discriminated against for having darker skin tones. So when I got pregnant by a white male, there was so many people that was feeling like, why would you have a baby with a woman of her skin tone? And then there was also people that felt like I needed to be like a mammy in the house, trying to make it seem like I didn't have the right to do my hair, or I didn't have a right to wear anything nice or sexy, that I had to constantly be in some sort of mammy attire, and then telling my baby daddy that he should get with a white woman, or that he should find another black woman, as if because of my skin tone he could just replace me with somebody who they would call a better nigga. But it was supposed to be based off of love and not based off of how much you could control me, which goes back to the Ku Klux Klan and the KKK mentality of feeling like black women are just objects. And my baby daddy was basically being shunned for not mistreating me in the times that he was treating me right. He was being shunned, and then they were trying to make it seem like they were not advocating for him to abuse me inside of the home. And I just want people to see how far back this racism goes and why I was abused by my white baby daddy.